Hello, my friends. How are you today? Aaron here bringing your daily horoscope for Tuesday, the 2nd of March, 2021. We've got the moon today, early in the morning, into the afternoon, moving through the later degrees of Libra, as the sun and Venus are getting closer and closer together in the sign of Pisces, which Pisces and the Libra energy are probably the two most misunderstood signs in the zodiac, right? As Pisces, where our sun is, where Venus is, where Neptune is, the ruling planet of Pisces, deals with our dreams, our imagination, our creativity. It also deals with endings. It also deals with death. It deals with enemies, right? Which is something we kind of brushed upon yesterday, where we're talking about the moon over there in the sign of Libra, where it's at right now, about balancing of nature, right? Beginnings and endings, that aspect of death, of nature, predator and prey. This is a balance of life. As well, balance. Libra is much more than just balance, right? We're talking about the cardinal air sign, and Libra doesn't get enough credit, as it sometimes gets known as like a pushover or something like that, and that's not what it is at all. So I want to help kind of dive a little bit deeper into understanding the Libra energy today before the moon moves into the sign of Scorpio. So Libra is not just about balance, it's about patience, okay? When we're talking about the air signs, Gemini rules communication. It rules the way that we think, right? So as a child, we know growing up in the stages of the child, first stage is me, self, Aries. Fingers and toes is all I know, right? The tip of my nose. I'm going toward the good, going away from what doesn't feel right for us, what frightens us. It's very simple in its nature. Not saying Aries are like that or any of these signs that I'm communicating. It's about the nature of the energy itself. Taurus is the me, my, I. Terrible twos. This is mine, right? And then 3, the child begins to understand a little bit more, okay? It begins to communicate, whether that communication is accurate information or not, right? It's about understanding. It's about our intelligence, okay? The sign, which is also, Gemini is a mutable sign. When we're talking about the sign of Aquarius, where Jupiter, Mercury, the ruling planet of Gemini, and Saturn are, Saturn's second home, okay? It's about communicating with the collective. It's about the group. And it's a fixed sign, so it's holding down that energy and what we're sustaining, right? And just as we learn communication, we learn insight, we have breakthroughs and concepts and new ideas come into our brain that are these big ideas that we want to apply to life. We want to apply and bring to the group, right? And it's not just about self. It's about, and not just about an other. It's about a collective, okay? So that fixed energy. So the cardinal energy, which is the strongest energy, not strongest once again in the sense of that it's a strength, but in a sense, it's because it's taking over the other sign. It's bringing in a new season, right? So here, the sun, we're ending winter here in the Northern Hemisphere. For my friends down in Australia, your summer is about to end, right? And it's going to turn into autumn, as we're about to have spring here, the equinox coming up in the Northern Hemisphere. So the Libra energy it takes over. It's a stronger force, okay? And when we look at something like the rainforest or certain trees, if you've ever been to Hawaii, these trees they're all one tree. They tangle together. They're overlapping their canopies, right? And there are some trees, I don't have a picture pulled up, but you know what I'm talking about, that they'll never touch each other, right? So the rainforest doesn't give any light. There's no light, and really, there's essentially no light. The canopies cover and shut the light out. Okay, a normal forest or whatnot, where these trees are not touching, they give room for everything else to grow underneath, the vegetation, the life, right? And it's not about being a pushover. It's not saying that I'm going to stop this energy. I'm saying I'm not going to stop doing what I need, right? It's light. Plants go toward the sun. Flowers, they open up to the sun. The trees, they move toward the sun. So when these trees don't touch each other, it's about respecting one another, okay? and not respecting one another to where we have to compromise, which I think is extremely important to understand about the Libra energy. It doesn't mean that we have to not do, that Aries energy, it's about self. This is about me and my journey. This is about me as a single tree, okay? Let's say I'm a banana tree, Aaron the banana tree, all right? There are many trees in the jungle, and it's respecting all of the other trees in the jungle. And over here is an orange tree, and over there is a whatever tree. A coconut tree, I don't know. Okay, so it's respecting our individuality amongst many other things, and respecting that we need to leave that light for others to shine, for the sun to shine through to reach to others, right? Otherwise, there would be nothing growing underneath. There would be no light to hit for things to grow. Okay, but it's not saying I'm going to compromise and I'm going to allow you to grow over top of me so I can't grow or stunt myself any further, right? And now when we bring this awareness to ourselves, okay, we're talking about mind energy. The air energy is mind, okay? And air, we're talking about our breath, balancing our breath. Our breath is our medicine. Our breath is the sacred life force energy, right? There's this beautiful song we sing in ceremonies. Earth my body, water my blood, air my air my breath, and fire my spirit. And it's true. And it's funny that the Capricorn energy is kind of known as patience, but it's patience in the sense of it takes time for that coal to turn into diamond. It takes time for things to manifest in the physical nature. When we're talking about the cardinal sign of Libra, this is patience in the mind, patience in our breath. This is patience with our friends, patience with our lover, patience with one another, patience with our enemy, the sun, Venus, Neptune over there. Patience for all of us to grow, for all of us to learn something, and balancing our breath, which is so important. Okay, and if it's more. This channel is more than just for you sticking with me here. It's more than just learning an aspect, but it's storytelling through astrology so that we can understand this life, to live a better balanced life, right? And our breath. If we have short, shallow breaths, we put ourselves in fight or flight mode. We get tingly, right? We don't think things through fully when we don't have full breath. The air is our breath. Right? And we're scrounging or scavenging, looking through a cupboard, not scavenging, but in a hurry, looking through a cupboard to find something and ripping open a cupboard door. Maybe it's not in here. Maybe it's in this one. Right? And then we take it out in the cupboard and slam the cupboard or whatever it may be. And it's how long does it take to open a cupboard? It's just opening a cupboard. How long does it take to find something? It's just finding something. But the more that we put ourselves in that manic state of mind, that fast now energy, right? And the moon, our nurturing, caring moon, our emotional needs, is understanding the patience of the mind. And patience of the mind comes from the air, the breath that we breathe, right? Our lower half and our upper half, breathing deep into our diaphragm, into our lungs, into our mind. Because it's not the cupboard, it's not the thing in the cupboard that we're looking for that's creating the manic state. It begins in the mind. So when we compose ourselves, when we compose our breath, we send enough fuel to our brains that we can manage and balance our life. Just as our left and our right, like something we talked about yesterday as well, is, this is a balance. And the muscles in our body, our earth, show us our imbalances. The breath that we breathe in, when we breathe fully, it shows us our imbalances, right? And that slow, steady breath, when we come back to this breath, that prana life force energy, that beautiful medicine, we have clear waters upstairs. And that's where the moon is headed, to Scorpio. Clear, clean waters, right? And when we have clean waters, we can reflect naturally whatever it is that needs to be reflected. So while we have Venus, the sun, Neptune, all in the sign of Pisces, not only dealing with endings, dealing with death, dealing with media frenzies, dealing with information of outside sources. It deals with endings. It deals with our dreams, our imagination, our creativity. When we are so busy in our minds thinking what's next, Mercury and Saturn and Jupiter up there in Aquarius, what is the world coming to? What is the world that we're creating right now? When we're so busy focusing on some of the things that other individuals are doing, it's harder for us to be clear, clean waters, to listen to ourselves, to listen to the intuition and the inspiration of source energy that's coming in through the Piscean energy. Air my breath and fire my spirit, right? And now the moon's going to move into the sign of Scorpio, right? And we have this square as well here. This is patience, my friends. This is about patience. Another beautiful song, Trevor Hall. You can't rush a healing. Something like that, Be a really beautiful song. We can't rush this process. Whatever's going on in our lives, sometimes we want it now. We get to the concert, we want to walk in sometimes and it just to start. But then if we time it wrong, the band's already playing. We've rushed. Or fuel for our bodies. When we don't eat, when we don't gauge our own fuel and know when it's time to eat or time to not eat. Right? Everything comes in balance. When we know when it's time to, when our body tells us, and that's part of this, earth is our body, right? Air is our breath. So when we're manic and we're this, and I need to eat now, that fast, that hurry, rummage through the cupboards to find the thing that I need it now, Coming back to our patience, or it's saying, hey, there's something that's being shown here in this that I need to maintain. If we're running our car all the way down to E before we know that we need gas, we're not maintaining balance of the car, right? So the same here with our breath, the same here with our food. We have to nourish our earth body. We have to nourish our air body, right? And then we have to nourish our emotional body as well. So when we have these nice composed breaths, when we bring stillness to the mind, we can feel our emotions, right? True emotions, not the panic, not the manic emotions. We're allowed to feel whatever source energy is trying to give to us at that time if we're in a place of searching or needing something. And we kind of always are as human beings. It's like we're in a constant state of growth and a constant state of change. The only thing consistent is change in our lives. So as the moon moves out of Libra tomorrow, so we're still going to have this energy today whenever you're watching this video. Balance, balance, balance. Patience, patience, patience. Patience with ourselves, patience with others. Patience with the learning process. Patience with our growth, right? Just because we understand something here doesn't mean it's going to manifest over here. And this is the part of the square between the moon and Pluto today. So then now when we have these clear, calm waters, and the moon moves into Scorpio, about our shadow, about those hidden truths, those desires deep down underneath. And it's going to just about conjunct or make a trine to Venus. But it's not going to happen until about 4 a.m. So we'll touch on it now, but it's more for Wednesday's horoscope. But so we're going to have this energy moving forward, and for us to understand these passions and these desires that we have. The body has needs, the body craves. Our mind has needs, our mind craves. But that just because it's like having if someone presents you a plate of cookies and or a plate of anything, sometimes we're inclined to just take it because it's being presented to us, but we don't need it. So when we have cravings, and we're coming from this beautiful place, coming back a couple of days here, a week, coming from the fire sign of Leo, when the moon was in Leo, and firing us up to remembering who we are, our creative individuality, right? How to express ourselves, remembering that we're creating a Rembrandt or a Picasso, that we don't have to create the same image or the same way of life or the way of living that somebody else has. And then moving into this Virgo full moon, and understanding, our strengths and what we're going to create and what we're going to give back. Our own creative input as a producer, not just a consumer. And that Virgo energy also dealt with giving up things, letting go of things, letting go of addictions. And I know that can be, we all deal with that stuff. I am not exempt when I talk about this stuff. These are lessons for me just as much as they're lessons for everybody else that's under the sun, right? So me just talking about it doesn't mean I'm exempt from that stuff. I'm human, just like everyone, So coming into this, out of this balance of Libra, into this Scorpio energy, we have this now, maybe these yearnings, these passions that we're feeling, okay? Or maybe if we did give up something, sugar or coffee or a habit or a way of thinking, right? That can be something else, again, coming back to that Virgo full moon. It's not necessarily a substance that we're talking about. It can be a way of thinking. It can be a way of fearing something. And here we go. And coming here from this Libra energy to this Scorpio energy as well, this can be looking at things as a chore. So-and-so is calling me. Hello, maybe they really need you. Maybe they really need something, or looking at an activity that we should be joyous doing, and looking at it as a chore and having a preconceived notion of negativity going into it, which can be it's a human condition. It's something that we do, and maybe we're giving that up. Maybe we're giving up looking at things as a chore or a burden when we should be looking at them and being thankful that our phone is ringing, that someone is calling us to ask us something, or to come out to whatever it may be, or whatever is going on in our lives, but not looking at things as a burden, right? So we're giving up something. And as the moon's going to be moving into Scorpio, we might be challenged with facing those things. And if our waters are this vibration that we cannot see the image clearly, if we're not composed in this stillness, in the balance of breath and body and mind, it's hard to align with the soul, the fire. So coming back to that breath as best as we can while we're going through whatever changes are coming through in our lives. Remembering to give each other patience, to give each other space to grow as well, to not try to cloud somebody else, to take their light. But give them space, but giving them space without compromising your own light as well. It's a true balance of egos, a true balance of body, mind, breath, and spirit. My friends, it is such an honor every day to sit with you. And as well as I'm going to end this with communication, there's always a way, a hello, a goodbye of some sorts that we do. And sometimes we go through the motions of things, right? And I could say, hello, hi, I'm Aaron and this, and just, end the video. Or I could just start it up and just say, the moon's in Libra and the sun's in Pisces, and then that's it, end. But there was a conscious choice to not just say goodbye, but to say, I love you and I wish you enough. And to know that that's not fluff, that it's meant, that it's heartfelt, right? My friends, I love you. I wish you enough on this day. Patience and balance and clear waters to bring us to the next level, the next chapter, as things are ending and beginning. Clear waters to see whatever it is that our emotions and intuition is telling us that we need through this time. We'll see you tomorrow.